The Cedar of Lebanon was carried to the skies by the Middle East Airlines. And just as the Cedar weathered throughout history, and just like Lebanon survived despite all setbacks and crises, wars and divisions, the Middle East Airlines withstood all challenges with confidence and determination from the very beginning and until today. Founded in 1945 by Prime Minister Saeb Salam, the Middle East Airlines is a name that transcends the borders of the country and reflects the role of Lebanon in the region and the world. The company's first flights were launched from Beirut to the neighboring countries, extending afterwards towards the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and other Gulf countries, followed by Europe and Africa. Until the first setback hit the Middle East Airlines path with the Israeli attack on Beirut Airport in 1968, which led to the destruction of 14 aircraft. However, the company emerged from the ashes of destruction and entered the golden age with the succession of Sheikh Najib Al Ahmadeen and Asad Nasser. MEA soon reached the level of international companies with the delivery of 3 747 jumbo jets in 1975. And the number of passengers reaching 1 million. The Civil War and the Israeli invasion in 1982 had a severe impact on the Middle East Airlines and Beirut Airport alike, but the company was able to stay on track and maintain its name despite circumstances and obstacles. Salim Salam strived to achieve that. After the war, and despite the fact that life was back to normal, the company paid the price, emerging from the war exhausted and weary, lacking all necessary assets to face the fierce competition of Arab and international companies. However, it succeeded in maintaining the levels of excellence and leadership in matters of maintenance and safety. It became vital at this stage to take a bold, courageous step to save this national company and maintain the confidence and support of its regular passengers within a loss that amounted to hundreds of millions of dollars. The decision to transfer ownership to the Bank of Lebanon at the end of the year 1996 was taken. And between 1998 and 2001, the company was revamped. The Middle East Airlines undertook the largest restructuring project with the support and daily follow-up of former Lebanese Prime Minister Rafik Hariri and the assistance of Parliament Speaker Nebiya Berri, with the cooperation of Minister of Transport and Public Works back then, Najib Mikati. Such a bold plan was fiercely opposed by a hostile campaign.
إن مجلس إدارة الشركة مستمر في تنفيذ الخطة الإصلاحية للشركة وهو يتحمل مسؤولية ما يقوم به وندعو جميع المعنيين بهذا الملف إلى تحمل مسؤولياتهم بعيداً عن المزايدات التي لا تنفع في بناء وطن ولا في بناء مؤسسات ويعطيكم العافية.
Nevertheless, the plan was carried out. It involved reconsidering the airline networks on purely economic grounds, closing of non-profitable and non-viable stations, increasing the number of flights on productive and promising routes, as well as downsizing and modifying the working conditions for staff and crew to increase productivity and competitiveness of the company, in addition to dismissing some employees and adapting a cost reduction plan at all levels, along with the adoption of new technologies to ensure the smooth transition of the company into the third millennium. This has allowed for the rectification of the existing financial situation against huge losses amounting to $87 million in 1997 to a continuous net profit since 2002 for 10 consecutive years. September 2001. Despite the negative effects caused by the events of September the 11th on tourism, travel and the collapse of a number of major airlines, the Middle East Airlines was able to overcome this stage, taking a courageous decision to update the entire fleet in less than a year to improve the image of the company and its fleet in the eyes of the traveler. This decision encountered obstacles related to funding. When international banks refrained from financing, Bank Audi believed in the company's ability to grow and contributed in financing the purchase of 6 aircraft. So did Airbus. This soon gave Lebanese and international banks confidence in the company, from France Bank to Banque Lebanon Française to the Lebanese Canadian to Bank of Beirut. And for the first time in 30 years, the Middle East Airlines received on the 17th of February 2003 the first company-owned aircraft, an A321, under the patronage of Prime Minister Najib Mikati. With the end of 2003, the company was operating one of the newest fleets in the world, managing to change and uplift its image. In 2005, Lebanon and the world were shaken by the assassination of former Prime Minister Rafik Hariri. Soon the political and economic situation deteriorated. So did security. However, the company managed to overcome the crisis and continue to achieve profits. The same year witnessed the opening of the Cedar Lounge in the new Rafik Hariri International Airport in Beirut, over a surface area of 2,770 square meters. The year 2006 witnessed the brutal Israeli attack on Lebanon, which led to the closure of Rafik Hariri International Airport after an Israeli airstrike. The company was able to take its aircraft safely out of the airport thanks to the international efforts of Prime Minister Fouad Siniora. Defying the siege, the Middle East Airlines operated flights to and from Damascus International Airport and via Larnaca. The crisis in Lebanon continued, and the security situation deteriorated in 2008. Nevertheless, the company was able to overcome this crisis and achieve profits. Moreover, it took a decision to pursue its plan of developing its fleet with the purchase of 10 brand new Airbuses. The Middle East Airlines pursued its achievements, benefiting from the return of calm and security and political stability with the election of President Michel Slimane as President of the Republic of Lebanon and the formation of the new Cabinet of National Unity. In 2008, it was ranked among the best 25 airlines in the world, according to the International Classification of Air Transport World. In 2009, the Minister of Transport and Public Works, Ghazi Aridi, removed all obstacles hindering the setup of the Regional Training Center, designed to be a destination for international and Arab companies alike, with the blessing of His Excellency President Michel Slimane, who had a prominent role in supporting the company since the first day of his presidency. In 2010, the company continued to improve the conditions of all employees, from pilots and stewards to staff and workers. In 2011, the Middle East Airlines signed an agreement to join SkyTeam Global Alliance. The company also achieved a new record in the number of travelers who surpassed the threshold of 2 million passengers for the first time since its inception. As of 2008, the delivery of the second wave of new aircraft kept going, and on January 20th, 2012, the governor of the central bank took delivery in Hamburg of the A320 aircraft, holding the serial number 5000, specially allocated by Airbus to Middle East Airlines as a token of trust and respect. A distinct ceremony was held to welcome the exclusive plane that carried on its board the president of Airbus, Thomas Enders, in the presence of the Minister of Public Works and Transportation, Ghazi Aridi, and MEA's personnel. All celebrations were placed under the patronage of Prime Minister Najib Mikati.
We know a lot of airlines all over the world, but there's hardly one, I can figure of none actually, that has the tenacity, the perseverance, the energy and the boundless optimism we can observe with Middle East Airlines in the last 4 or 5 decades.
With the provision of this plane, we remember how the company couldn't find a buyer at $1 in 2001, and today became worth more than $1 billion. Thus, and as promised, the board of directors was able to rebuild a company that gained the confidence of the Lebanese, becoming the pride and dignity of all its employees. Without the vision, solid decision, continued support and efforts made by the governor of the Bank of Lebanon, Riyad Salami, the Middle East Airlines wouldn't have been able to be what it is today, for he put his absolute confidence in the company, its board of directors and employees, with all his heart, soul, mind and strength. We're now flying you back to the ground through the cedars on board of the Cedar Wings, the trip of a cedar from Lebanon that rose far above and is still eyeing the sky to stay on top of the world.